Good morning, and good morning. Yes, I decided to come on in and get online. The doctor's appointment was canceled, so I am here. I didn't cancel it, but anyway, I'm here. I'm here. How was your weekend? What did you do? What was it? What was interesting? What was fun? What was not so fun? I can tell you my not so fun. Okay, I had two things that happened this weekend. The first thing was that it was a good thing. I started and we rehearsed on Robin Richard's play that's done as a narrative in a narrative format with singers and piano. So we went on Friday afternoon to rehearse for that. It went really good. We were excited about it, and after the rehearsal, and I stayed around and chit chatted with her at the Cuckoo Institute downtown. And leaving there, I said, well, I'm going to go check on a friend and just see how she's doing. Went and checked on a friend, forgot all about that the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds were here, and got in traffic coming off of 110 into I-10. And traffic was just horrendous. And, I learned this morning that over the weekend they had over 300,000 people just trying to get access to the base. So, of course, I'm all in that traffic, not realizing it, but I was. And called myself emerging over, got in the first lane, my right lane, everybody was just going crazy with not stopping and realizing that two of the lanes that normally you could go to get off on Highway 29 were cordoned off. They were closed. So they get up there and mess up the flow. And so I was trying to ease over and got into the first lane, but that was still one of the lanes that was closed off. So you still had to merge again. And there was a truck next to me, and he stopped. I assumed that he was going to let me in. He did not. So the accident happened, and my car's fine. I'm fine. Uh, what happened was the front of his car, which was a truck. He had a brand new Denali. It was fine. It moved straight by me. So after I realized that he wasn't going to let me in, I was still close to my line, but I wasn't out of line. But here's what happened. Here's what happened. The back of his truck was pulling an oversized trailer, and in the trailer was another car. And the front of the trailer hit my mirror, and my mirrors flex back and forth because they have automatic rotation on them. So anyway, when you open the car, they will open up, and when you close the car, they will close up. But they also go all the way back. So it hit my mirror and flipped it back, and I was fine. But his trailer, because it was so wide, it scraped my just a little bit. Now you can't even hardly see it. This morning, it scraped my bumper and ended up that it was just crazy. It messed up his tires, so he ended up having to go get off the highway, and they were on their way to, I want to say, they were on their way to Arizona, but it messed up his tire, and he had to get a tire. But of course, they cited me for illegal lane change, but I was really in my same lane. But what can you do? You're not going to sit out there and argue with people. You just kind of say, okay, it is what it is. Men talking to men, and there's this little woman there. And, they had already pretty much made up in their mind that it was my fault. And I was thinking, well, what if his trailer was really over the line because of its bigness? Okay, what if that happened? But I don't know. So anyway, that was my early part. But then getting back to the better part, let's go back. So the better part happened on Saturday afternoon, well, actually Saturday evening, where we had to actually perform. And I was still, kind of angst about what happened on Friday. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to have to let it go because I need to sing now. I need to call up what it is that I do well and let me just sing. And we were stellar. We were stellar. We sounded wonderful. The narration went off excellently, and we did our thing. We did our thing. So anyway, I am here this morning. Today's word is bussin. I don't know if you've ever heard the word bussin. Bussin is a new word to the dictionaries, including, of course, Merriam-Webster, of course, Cambridge. And I don't know if it's in the Oxford yet, because Oxford is Oxford. I don't know if it's in there, but you can find it. BUSSIN, different kind of word, but it came out of the African Americans, use of slang. Okay, so I'm going to read you a poem first, and then we'll get into the word bussin. BUSSIN. This poem was written in March of 21, and it's written by Jazzy Girl. It says, bussin' it. Here I am riding around town on the Polariat chariot, motor running, wheels a turning, having fun, just a bussin' it. Lots to see, houses, people, cars, and trees, like a chauffeur giving me a tour. Glad I'm here and not riding in an SUV like a pompous fool. So anyway, even though bussing it in this instance is talking about they're on the bus, bussing it has started to come around in all of social media. TikTok, you hear them, they use it on an Instagram, they use it on Facebook, but it means that they're taking great consideration and giving high praise for whatever they are eating, seeing, wearing, involved in it. That's what it means, bussing. And I'll read just what I got off the internet. It says the term originated from the African American vernacular of English and hip hop culture. It's derived from the word bust, BUST, which means to break or surpass expectations. That's what we do. The term has become popular among Gen Z on social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. And so it says bussin' is a slang term that means something is excellent, delicious, or impressive. And we probably have known what we like to see, what we like to wear, what we like to eat, where we like to go, who we're partying with. All those things are things we could say have this bussin', distinction to them for us. It says it's a word and term that means excellent, delicious, or impressive. It can be used as an adjective or a verb. The adjective would be something is excellent or delicious, but the verb would be bus is used to be the verb, for example, that shows bus, B-U-S-S. Here are some examples of how you might use bussin' in a sentence. These fries are bussin'. Your mom's cooking is always bussin'. I mean, it's always on point, always delicious, always above anybody else's. It says, man, this tropical resort is bussin'. They literally have everything. Look, you bussin', and let's go there. It's bussin'. So it's letting you know that bussin' is a term that shortens having to say beautiful or vivacious, whatever the words are. You can just break it down and just say that's bussin'. And I think it's a cute word, but it says the Gen Xers and the millennials kind of started running it down that way. Gen Xers and millennials. I have a millennial, so she knows what it is. It says, and it says user. It says where users and employs the term to express approval or appreciation, especially in the context of food, fashion, or music. So that's where you hear it a lot: food, fashion, music. And I know back in the day we used to say things were sharp or things were this or that. We had one description for them, but they use this description for everything that could be inclusive of all those good things. Good morning, Cheryl. How are you, my sweet friend? You doing good? Hey, Carney, I know you're there. You on the front or the back porch? Where y'all at today? Let me know. But anyway, so bussin is our word. I don't know if you've heard it because you have a millennial also, Cheryl, you and Carney. So, maybe your millennials have already told you the word. I don't think I've heard my daughter say it, but I know she knows all that kind of stuff because she doesn't fool as much with Facebook as she does the Instagram and the TikTok. So she usually knows what's going on there. But when I break the word down this morning, and I'm going to ask you, are you stuck? Are you stuck on not knowing some of the new words? Sometimes we are. So that's why I'm giving you what I would call the more sophisticated words that I usually do. And then I'm going to give you the fun word. This is a fun word. Playfulness is all around it. So when I break the word, hey, Michael, what's good? Hey, what's good with you? Okay, have you heard bussin? That's the word for the day, bussin. Okay, and bussin means basically that something is really liked by you. It's either going to be that you like, what you see, what you're wearing, what someone else is wearing, what they're saying, where they're going, what you're doing, and especially what you're eating. So boastful is what I call it. It says boastful, showing excessive pride and self-satisfaction in one's, it could be their achievements, or possessions, or someone else's abilities, such as they can cook. Can't nobody out-cook them? Can't nobody out-dress them? Can't nobody out-sing them? That's the credit that we give with this word of bussin'. We're giving them that, what I would say, that outward range of, wow, they really got it going on. So boastful means bragging, because let's face it, we brag. We brag about something that we've eaten, something that we've worn, some places that we've gone to. We do it on a regular. No big deal. Do it. Do it. That's the fun of it. It says also when we crowing, it's almost like, yeah, I saw, yeah. Crowing, swaggering, because everybody knows what swag is, or being a braggart, or overbearing. Sometimes we do that. Bus, it means you're killing it that out. That's right. That's right. There you go. And I know you would know it. You would know it. Definitely, Michael. I know you know that word. You killing it with the outfit. And Michael always busting with his hats. He always has on fly hats. That's his thing. Or banging is good too. And he has on bad shoes. Usually his shoes is matching his hats. And then he'll have something in his dress. It's either going to be the same colors, or it's going to be enhancing a portion of something that may be on his hat band. Do I have you, Michael? Okay, I have you. But anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You understand what I'm talking about. Also, boastfulness could be a little swanky, little big mouth, know it all. They could be showy, arrogant, puffed up. Am I telling the truth? Sure we can. Sure we can. Because sometimes if there's something out that I have on that I love, I try not to be too, out there on letting everybody else know, but I feel a certain way. I'm feeling good about what it is that I'm wearing, what it is that I prepared for other people to try, if it's food, that kind of thing. No big deal. Boastfulness, though, could also be egotistical, showy, arrogant, and puffed up. Okay? It could be all of that. Every bit of that. 100%. Yeah, I know you, Mike. I do. So then when we move on in the word of being, bussin', it says the you of bussin' for me is untouchable. Sometimes you see people, can nobody touch that outfit but them. Can nobody cook that meal but the person that prepared it. Every once in a while I've tried to duplicate the way my mother would make a sweet potato pie. Mine is close, but it's not quite there. She and Mrs. Murray, who gone on to glory, and I think I told you a few weeks ago, I asked her could I have the recipe. She told me no. And I was close to her, but she said no, and she meant no. Took it with her. But everybody knew her recipe was classic. If you ever had a piece of her sweet potato pie, you knew. In fact, other people could bring sweet potato pie to the same function. They wanted to know where's Murray's. They didn't want the other because they knew Murray's was always going to be on point. Always. My mother's was always on point. So untouchable means exempt from criticism. Can't nobody touch it. They are it says that they are the coolest, the one on top. And her pralines, yes. I wasn't big on pralines because it was too much sugar, but pralines, yes. Yes, I taste them every once in a while, but the sugar content was a little bit too much for me to get to the nut. I couldn't do it. But untouchable meant that they were exempt from criticism or control. They were basically lying beyond reach, hard or impossible to get or to get to. Couldn't get at them because that's how bad they are. And sometimes you see people, their beauty may be only beauty that they have. You don't have that beauty. The food, the outfit, whatever, the place that you're at may be so exotic. You said, this is hard to believe. Got to take pictures. Got to take pictures. When I lived in Europe, I was like picture fanatic, same thing as I do now. I mark the spot where I've been because I may never get back there again, but I do mark the spot. But being untouchable also says that they're inaccessible, they're unavailable to you. They may be far off because sometimes we may see beauty and we may experience, certain things from a distance, but we can't even get to them. And sometimes we've tasted something and we say, I'm going to make this. You ask the ingredients, they even give you the recipe, and it's not the same. It's not the same. Sometimes people just have a certain way of putting things together because it may have been when the ingredients go in at which period. You may have put on something in too soon or not soon enough, so you don't ever know. You never know because I don't know. I had a few friends who told me that they didn't give people the exact recipe. I'm just letting you know that. But anyway, so when something is untouchable, it says they're removed, they may be isolated, or they may have honed a particular space or a way of doing things. You don't know nothing about it because you weren't there. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. They didn't let you in on it. They didn't let you in on it. When I move on to my word of bussin, which is B-U, I'm on my first S. My first S. Good morning, David. Oh, Glenville and Love. Love y'all too. Thank you. You need to stay a while. Talking about bussin. You know what bussin is? Well, anyway, no, it's not on the bus. No. But anyway, my first S is superior. It says higher in rank, meaning that when you see something that's bussin', you giving it the highest rank that in your head that you think they're at. The dressing, the car they drive in, the swag they have, the food you've tasted, the villa or the resort you're at, bussin'. That's why they make it short. It says it's the higher in rank, status, or quality, meaning higher than what you've seen before, what you've experienced before, tasted before, that you're giving it the high up. It says higher in ranking, upper level, more advanced than what you've experienced before, more skillful, better for you, and a preference. Good morning, Allison. Hey, sweet pea, how are you? Today our word is bussin'. You're a young person. Do you know what bussin' is? Bussin. Let me see if you know. But anyway, I'll give it to you in 1 second. My second letter, my second S in bussin' is superb. Superb. And bussin' is basically you're giving it the highest rank you can give it, meaning you saying that the food, can't nobody outdo that food, can't nobody outdress that person or yourself. Can't nobody, lay out, a beautiful resort like the one you're at or visiting. There you go. That's what it means. High up. Superb means informal, very good or pleasant, and it's excellent as well. It said it's the superlative, it's superior, it's outstanding, fine, exquisite, magnificent, splendid, peerless. When something is peerless, that means there's no leverage beyond where they're at. No one can level up to where this situation is. The person, the place, the taste, the things, it is. And the superb also says something is great. It's great for whoever decided it. It's a great match um, for you. You see it as being beautiful or the right thing to look at. My I, when I move on for bussin, it means immense. Immense means large, extremely large, or great in size, especially in scale or degree. Because sometimes we can make things large or people appear large to us, like celebrities or, certain, maybe certain venues that you've been to are just so astonishing that you're saying, wow, I can't believe this place. And I've been to a few of those. I have in my lifetime. And it's extraordinary when you find something you say, man, this is like paradise right here. I don't have to wait till I get where to the promised land. I'm seeing things on earth that have been created that are just beautiful. That's what you say. um, so when something is immense, it's of a large scale and degree, and that means it's huge. And a lot of times we can give people credit for their something that is huge or vast or massive. It's enormous. Sometimes we let things we get that feeling that things are enormous. Why? Because we sense that we don't either measure up or we don't see ourselves looking like that or cooking like that or in a certain place that you see people at. But I say think high. You'll be there with them. Think high. Um, when something is immense, it's also giant, colossal, tremendous, meaning that we might be experiencing something tremendously, only because it's different, it's new, it's new to us, new to us. Maybe even something that's monumental. Have you ever seen things that are monumental and they're unbelievable? You know, I remember, when I lived in Europe and we went to the Colosseum, and, I felt like an ant trying to look up at that building. It was huge. It was just huge, and the fact that it took up, blocks. All I could think of is, wow, that's really something. It's something that large has been generated through ancient history. And if the as they say, if the inner city cultured urbanites would probably describe it, especially those of us in the States, we'd say it would be bussin'. It would be bussin'. And my N for bussin', this is a quick session today. Good. I'm going to be done in 30. My N for bussin' is it's number one. We've just placed things high up in our value of them. It says number one, it could be a person or a thing that is best or the most important in an activity or area. And if we think about some of the places that we've been and some of the things that we've been involved in, when we can, assess what it is that we've seen. Sometimes we've seen some phenomenal stuff. We've experienced some phenomenal people, or foods or fashion. I always loved fashion, even though I was never one that could ever be selected for fashion, because for the longest period there, I was rather portly, rather large, even though I was on the short side, and finally conquered that. But then they still make things mostly that drape well for taller people, you know. And by me being, shorter, um, you don't always get the same lineage and length to what it is. So, I try to dress accordingly so that things make it look like I'm taller than what I am. Because I don't wear the shoes. You already know that. I don't wear them high shoes. So number one is a person or a thing that is the best or most important in an activity or an area. And it says that means they become the primary thing that you might be looking at, or the primary, attention that is given to something. It says they may be the main, the chief, the key, it says they may be the overriding factor of an event. You don't even realize it, but you say, wow, they took the show. They took the show. It says number one is the major. They may be the ones that just kind of shut everybody else down and out. I don't know if you've ever been people that took on like, projects and, but there was a competition for it, almost like auctioning. When there's an auction and they do a silent auction and everything. In fact, I went to a silent auction. I've gone to several of them, but the one I went to maybe about 3 years ago, the starting bid at some of those auctions were $500. And one I remember got to $15,000, and another, thing that they had on silent auction made it to 10,000, 12,000. I said, well, okay, I'm just sitting here watching. I'm watching in awe of things that, they were for trips, they were for going on like a boat with, I think it had enough for 8 different people, so all that kind of stuff. But it was interesting. So for my number one, I don't always, I admire. A lot of times I'm admiring number one, but I'm okay being, back in my space of being comfortable with who I am. But it says number one also talks about being the dominant factor, the ruler, the master, the supreme, and the ultimate. And a lot of times we give people a lot of credit for how they dress, how they cook, what things they popped up in terms of events. And I don't mind giving them their props. I really don't. But I don't stay there. It's like I know that life goes on. This moment will go on, this time will go on, and things will change. And ultimately, we will be whoever we are. So bussin it's real. It is, as I said, it is a young person's word that came about, but it's in the dictionary now. And we need to know what it is, because some of them may be talking with you, and and they may come up to you and say, hey, that's bussin'. And we can at least say that we know it means that I must be looking all right. Okay, I must be looking all right, or what I prepared is really making it, a name for itself. People are enjoying it. But that's our word for today. As I said, I had a great weekend, a good start to the week. I'm hoping that everyone gets out and votes tomorrow if they haven't already done so. I voted as soon as it opened 2 weeks ago today. So I voted 2 weeks ago, and in fact, I made it. My daughter and I, we voted together, and I made sure, because I know she's a young person, but I made sure that she came with me so we could go ahead. And I said, "Yep, lunch." I'll get you lunch. I just need you to come and we'll vote together. So we did that, and we made it a mother-daughter kind of thing, kind of day that day. But anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a good Tuesday tomorrow, regardless of the results. Still put yourself in a position of, whatever. I'm going to put mine upstairs and say, let him come on in. Thank you very much. And I'll pray for whoever does not win. But listen, you just have a wonderful day. Hit the share button and let this be shared, that I came on, spoke another word, and that I'm trying to get you to the point where you can know all kinds of words and can talk from children all the way to kings and queens. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a great day. Love you. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.